Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome to September. Let's just dive right in. I have a lot of information for you. The new moon in Virgo happens on September 2nd for us, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising at 11 degrees in our 8th house, where the Sun and Mercury are currently sitting. The 8th house is a shadow house representing where we store our traumas, deep conditioning, shared resources. It's a house of shared money, inheritance, investments, loans, taxes, deep soul bonding types of intimacy. It can represent our deepest pain, but also where we face our biggest shadows. And when we do so, our biggest transformations and liberation can also come. And then we're able to move on to that higher joy house, the 9th house. Saturn, our ancient ruler, is sitting opposite from the 8th in the 2nd house of self-esteem, immediate family, what we value. It can represent luxury goods, land, farms, diet, what we put in our mouths, all things to our yin, our throat, and our bank accounts. This can look like wanting to make new beginnings around those 8th house topics, but feeling restricted somehow by the 2nd house in some way, with Saturn over there. Maybe you're struggling to release yourself from codependency on a partner, and you're working hard in that 2nd house, trying to build up your resources, but not seeing the financial results yet. Alternatively, you could be discussing serious family issues or intimacy issues with a partner at this time, and you could be trying hard to fix them, but be feeling depressed or stagnant and being able to make progress in those areas, or the progress is very slow going, trying to heal any of those wounds that might be sitting there in the 8th house. This also can be an empowering time where you discover your strength in overcoming dependency on a partner. Maybe if it's somebody you've had power struggles with, or they've abused their power in some way over you, maybe with money, for example, because these are two money houses that are lit up, the 2nd house of banking and the 8th house of shared resources. And you are developing like self-mastery in that area. And now, maybe you see that there's still work that needs to be done to make yourself more fully independent in that 6th house, or still need to keep working on building your self-reliance and your self-esteem. But you may have some realizations at this time, at the new moon, of how strong you really have become, in spite of Saturn sitting over there in the 2nd. You can be like a warrior, now facing down that shadow realm in the 8th house. And especially as Pluto makes its way out of its 12th and into your 1st, you're kind of rebirthing in a way. And you will definitely be the one gaining power if there has been a power imbalance in your life, especially if it's been with an intimate partner. On a lighter note, new beginnings in shared resources or investments can be highlighted at this time, or money you share with a partner. That blockage that you might have felt or drying up of resources in the 2nd house, and Saturn has moved in there, can be aided by Uranus and Taurus, which is over in the 4th house of home and family, and it will trine up to the 8th house. Mercury and the Sun will later join the 8th house in the month, later in the month, and it could maybe free up money. Or maybe there's a sale of a property or rental, giving some breathing room to your bank account balance. Alternately, Uranus can provide like sudden healing through realizations that set you free from past life conditioning, especially if you've been working with someone on those 8th house topics, like a therapist, a hypnotherapist, astrologer, someone along those lines, changing the way that you view yourself and your self-worth, putting everything into perspective, into a different way of seeing things. And you could be healing a wound there. On September 6th, Mars moves into Cancer, your 6th house of health and routines. The 6th house covers service workers, people that we hire to keep ourselves on track in the day-to-day, doctor's appointments, pets, what we do for mundane work to pay the bills. Mars will enter its shadow on October 7th and go fully retrograde in December in your Leo 7th house of partners. The 7th house can represent partners in love, business, marriage, also open enemies, and the public. Mars will have you wanting to tackle and put in efforts into 6th house and 7th house matters. Back and forth, it will bounce all the way up until next spring when it goes direct and ready to move on. Mars could want you to be building up your body, your health, your stamina, changing your diet routine to reflect a healthier, more energetic you. You could have a heavier workload now, things that you have to keep maybe going back over or reworking, and work projects that won't reach culmination until next spring when Mars moves forward again. I know for me, I actually have a project that I'm working on that will require a lot of effort and probably revisions. And so this rings, loud and true for me. There could be problems in the home with a partner, as Mars will be in the house of the other. If you have an adversary, they can be more challenging at this time, or a partner in love could become your adversary. This is probably why the seventh house of marriage and serious relationships can also become your enemy if you choose to part ways over the course of the next few months. More positively, if you and a partner in business or love have been having difficulties but want to work things out, you could be spending these next few months working hard to resolve the issues that come up and finding solutions and possible reconciliations over these next few months. On September 14th and 15th, Jupiter and Gemini in your fifth house. Jupiter will stay there all the way until next June 2025. Your fifth house, it's a joy house. It's the house that comes after our fourth house. And it represents children, happiness, joy, luck, having fun, sports, the arts and entertainment, the entertainment world, theater, the movies, sports, speculative gains, creatively expressing yourself. And Jupiter there will trine over to Venus. Venus is in Libra, your ninth house, another luck house and this represents like legality, publishing, law contracts, settlements, foreign travel, gurus, teachers at like a high level, like professor level, psychiatrists, doctors and lawyers fall here as well. Traveling to far lands, foreign language. These are two very beneficial and lucky houses. And maybe you're moving like long distance for love. Maybe someone has fallen pregnant. If you're a woman looking to have a child, especially with Jupiter in the fifth house of duality, it could even be twins. So be careful around these days if that's not something that you're planning for, because there is a lot of love in the air, and it could be big love. Or it could be like love appearing a foreigner. It could possibly be, especially with that ninth house being lit up, or someone in your own country who you find out is from a foreign country or not from the country that you're currently born in. On September 17th, the full moon in Pisces, partial lunar eclipse, happens at 25 degrees. I know in the August video I had said the eclipse cycle is a 1.5 year cycle. I was dealing with my own Mercury retrograde issue, and I had said the nodes were shifting in the spring. The nodes will actually move into the Pisces-Virgo axis on January 11th, 2025, lasting roughly 1.5 years, 18 months. The eclipses on the Pisces-Virgo axis are happening now. We're in the thick of it, and it will last all the way until that final eclipse on that axis, which will be in Virgo, February 2027. And so that's roughly 2 years and 5 months. I think a lot of Pisces and Aquarius are really going to be on the spotlight over the next few years. You may have already started to feel the rumblings of this eclipse kicking off in August, and where the window opens now. This happens on your money axis, the second house and the eighth house. Second house Pisces, eighth house Virgo, for you further highlighting relationships and money, self-worth and self-esteem, independence and codependency, finding your sovereignty over the next 2+ years. Especially with Saturn there. Saturn is your ancient ruler and in the second house, making you want to become, the narrator of your own life. There is a grand Earth trine happening at the same time of this eclipse, forming a kite formation with Neptune at the apex. Neptune also conjuncts and rules this eclipse, giving this like a very faded, very like ephemeral kind of yet final feel to this trine. Is Pluto, Uranus, and the Sun in Virgo are sitting on the line at anaretic degrees, getting ready to change and cross into a different part of your chart. This also has a highly spiritual quality, as it points to Neptune, who is finishing its stay in Pisces, the sign that it rules. This configuration won't be happening again in our lifetime, and it lends a strength and stability and tangible results to the houses that those anaretic planets are sitting in for you. So for you, it's Pluto that's sitting on the line of your 12th house, finishing up many years of deep introspection, examining of the self. At times you may not even been aware of the changes that were going on. I'm sure many dark nights of the soul have happened here, and it could have related to family conditioning, your own patterns, addictions, self-undoing behaviors. As Uranus is another point of this trine in your fourth house, and the fourth house is also deep family conditioning in our ancestral roots, things that come in from past lifetimes. Uranus is getting ready to leave that fourth house and has probably shooken up that fourth house, literally the foundation of your home life, emotionally and otherwise, has probably been shaken over the past few years, or on a simpler note, you probably have shifted residence quite a few times. Soon, Uranus will be getting ready to make sure you finished up the work there and head over to the 5th house, where it will be much happier in Gemini. The sun is in Virgo in your 8th house. Again, another deep transformational house. These houses are liberation houses, the 4th, the 8th, and the 12th. They're water houses on the natural astrological wheel. It's very likely over the past several years you have dealt with battles that no one else could see. These are hidden houses in a sense, especially the 12th and the 8th, or fathom going on. People may not have understood that. You've been going through quite a metamorphosis, like a caterpillar that breaks down and becomes a butterfly, getting ready to emerge on a very internal level, getting rid of old beliefs and issues around self-esteem or worthiness, pain, possibly trauma, or family conditioning from past lives. I definitely see this here. One thing for sure is that this eclipse could show these changes somehow, as it's a full moon and a lunar eclipse, showing a completion and new beginnings at the same time. Neptune points the way through and is getting ready to enter your 3rd house in Aries. You could literally become a different person, a very powerful, enlightened spiritual person, especially with Pluto heading into your 1st house. If you did the internal work that was required of your 4th, 8th, and 12th houses. Your sign is the one ushering in the new age of Aquarius, and with Pluto heading here, especially so by November, we will be seeing systems fall, societies change, the government change, the hoi polloi rise up with Aquarian leaders at the helm. You will be leading the forefront. Sorry, I had to pause. You will be leading the forefront to protect children, change old systems that used to benefit the elite, and be helping the environment. I pulled a tarot card for this eclipse, and you got the Fool, a major arcana. I've been getting some really big cards for the signs, and it actually comes as no surprise with such profound, once-in-a-lifetime energy coming through. The Fool is the beginning of the tarot and represents new beginnings, spontaneity, bold beginnings, adventure, new horizons, also naivety and potential. In this image, a young girl has set off on a journey in a blooming garden. The path she is walking on is actually the tail of a huge crocodile hiding in the shadows of the garden. But she's not aware of the danger. She knows that life is full of surprises, and one has to be willing to take risks in order to experience life fully. I feel like this card sums up this eclipse and these new beginnings for you so profoundly. On September 23rd, the sun moves into your 9th house, the luck house of higher thinking, higher positive thoughts. You will definitely be feeling lighter and brighter after that shadow work has been going on in the 8th house. Teachers and travelers fall here, and with Mercury following up on the 27th, that Fool card may literally represent you setting off on a journey in the near future, or at least planning for one. The same day, Venus also moves into Scorpio, into your 10th house of public career and public status, making you appear more favorably, more attractive. It's a great time to be putting yourself out there if you're looking for a job, or if you're promoting work that requires you to be in the public eye. You will be well received around this time. And once again, that's starting on the 23rd. September 29th through October 17th, Mars and Cancer in your 6th house will trine up to Venus and Scorpio on the 10th again, highlighting this area for you, making you look more attractive, beautiful, attracting people to you like moths to a flame, especially in work and career. A romance can start with somebody that you're working with as well, or somebody that you're going to partner up with, so watch out for that, especially if you're attached. You could also be very energized about the work that you're doing and your public reputation at this time. Your public appeal could be very positive, and money can be involved through new work or career prospects. Something that you've been working on, putting a lot of efforts in, can be showing beautiful results at this time as well. You could also be socializing, as Venus is a very social planet for work, and Mars has you taking action, moving around, and you can meet someone this way as well, because these are very much like the lovers of the, of the universe there, Mars and Venus. Your skills and knowledge could be shining on the work front, and being more pleasant can secure more money or a new work contract somehow. And yeah, Aquarius, I think I'll leave it at that for now, and we'll get into more with the October 2nd Libra eclipse. I'll be releasing some information on that soon. Take care.